And welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, knights, revenant, orcs, elves, whatever you might be. Dang, it's great to be in the Empire today. We're coming from the darkest and deadliest of dungeons right now because, people, you know what we're doing. We're on the new account series for our Raid Shadow Legends extravaganza. Big thanks, as always, to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this series. I've been playing Raid for a couple years, you know, but getting really hardcore, playing the game pretty religiously every single day. I've been having a ton of fun. And since it's the new account series, I want to give you one of probably the most important tips that helped me make some amazing early game progress. Let's get talking about it. And you know what? Spoiler alert, that link down below or my QR code, which you can scan right above me, is kind of part of the trick to get this taken care of. So feel free to download the game if you have not already. And if you're already in the game and you kind of need some beginner guidance, this is what we're going to talk about. The two characters that have transformed and just made the biggest impact possible for my new accounts here. Number one, as we talked about in our very first video for this series, Kael is probably the very first champion that you're going to want to start off with the four that are offered to you. The damage is great. His kit is great. I like his leader ability overall, his aura, I should say. This guy, the first tip that we're going to talk about with your starter character, you need, it's really easy. You know, you get so many champions like, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I want it all, but you need to fine tune and focus your efforts and resources, especially into the good characters you can get right away, whether you're going to open some stuff with the sacred shards within your first 24 hours or use your promo code. You really need to make Kael one of your first, pretty much, you know, max ascension, max level as possible. This guy, I took the 5-star immediately, got him to 5-star ascension, and then I also, when I had the resources, took him to 6-star ascension. This guy is what's going to help you get as far as you can inside the campaigns. In your first 24 hours, all of your resources should basically be going into Kael, doing a ton of work. This guy, as we already said, tons of damage here. This, especially when you start getting artifacts on. I do believe I need to do a bit more work on my artifacts on Kael. I feel like I put better work into my other characters, but for whatever reason, I've been lazy. Artifacts on this guy have been important, and I haven't been moving them a lot. But basically, right now, I have all my artifacts that are going to amplify his damage. I've been going with some offense stuff, but I think when you're starting off, that's probably going to be one of the more, you know, available artifacts that you're going to get up and running. There are better ones. I just want to make that very clear. If you don't believe me, here, let's pull this up here. Ayumi Love, you love this website to help me kind of, especially when you're getting a lot of characters, you're trying to narrow down what's food, what you should upgrade. If we pull up Kael right here, the artifacts you're going to want to have on this guy, it's going to be probably something like this. When you scroll down a little bit, scrolling down, you might want to go for something in general great for PvE, PvP, which you can see, you know, they have critical damage, cruel, divine speed, fatal, immortal, instant, kill stroke, lethal, merciless. A lot of these are going to be more artifacts that you're going to get as you play more in the game. But when you're first starting off, I went straight for offense to just try to maximize my damage output. And that's what helped me get through what we're going to talk about today. The main focus of why I want to make this video is helping you guys get through these campaigns as fast as possible. Because as we said in our new player guide, in your first 24 hours, it's kind of one of the most valuable periods. Promo codes for new players, but also opening up Sacred Shards gives you the boosted drop rate for a legendary. And I got some pretty good legendaries in my first 24 hours when I did the opening here. So the most important thing is normal. When you obviously there's a bunch of great resources as you're upgrading the as you're completing these battles, you get a variety of silver gems, and then you got a void shard here. But what's really important, it's like this is kind of the goal. In your first 24 hours, you really want to try to get through the hard campaign, so that way at the very end, when you max out everything, you can get yourself the Sacred Shard. And again, a bunch of other good stuff. Like for example, they have the XP brews, which again are very valuable here. And then with just these two characters, Kael, and we're going to talk about the other one here, it also helped me get through the brutal, and again, bagging another Sacred Shard, because the whole trick of the campaign, it's kind of indirect, because the Crypts, I believe, you need like a full team to get the 3 stars. Here, they want you to use as little characters as possible to basically duo or solo the entire battle. So as you can see right here, when you're about to jump into a battle, 1 star, you just beat the stage. You get 2 stars if you beat the stage and no losses. But that 3rd star is what you're going to want to chase after. 2 or fewer champions and no losses. So what is the second champion that I use? Kael has been my damage dealer again. You should be putting all your effort and resources into that guy. But what you're going to want to do, if you use especially my promo code or my QR code and my link down below, which again, feel free to do so. You're going to, of course, get 2 champions. When you first start off, you're going to get Tayrel, which is great, but he wasn't the character to help carry me through the campaigns. once you reach level 20, I believe, you will get Rector Drath as the next champion. And this and Kale are the dream team duo that pretty much trivialized the entire thing. This is the other character I would recommend. Just like Kale, you should be dumping your resources. Rector Drath, I would recommend investing your resources as well. Again, if you don't believe me, here, the in-game reviews, extremely positive. I'm using her for a grand majority of game modes out there. And if you want to get other opinions out there, look up Rector Drath. And you can, as you can see, an S-rank epic champion. Why is Rector Drath amazing? Well, first off, she's got amazing heals on this character. She's got a great passive ability here. Her spirit form, this is what's great about him. You're going to get Perfect Veil. Perfect Veil is, I'd say, almost perfect, as the name would probably describe here. When you scroll down, there's two different veils. You have Veil and Perfect Veil. Basically, the one I want to read here is this. Veil buffs will be removed when the affected champion uses an active skill, but Perfect Veils will not be removed. So that's number one. Also, Veil and Perfect Veil buffs decrease incoming damage from area of effect skills. Veil reduces damage by 7.5%, and Perfect Veil, it reduces incoming damage by 15%. So it's a damage reduction. And on top of it, Veil and Perfect Veils cannot be stolen by an enemy with a skill that allows them to steal buffs. So that's nice. Especially, you're going to see a lot of Sun Wukongs. That guy likes to steal your buffs. He can't steal that. So being able to have a way to reduce the amount of damage on your character is kind of a big deal. So you have that, which also has turn meter, and it's got a revive. Oftentimes my Kale will die, you know, but then we have Rector Drath, who is an extremely thick character. She's got a lot of health. She's able to survive longer than Kale. Revive Kale, boom, you're good to go. But on top of that, we have an amazing heal on this ability. You're going to heal all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP, so you really want to jack up the HP on this character. And after healing, you get a Perfect Veil on everyone that we just talked about for 2 turns on allies with full HP. And then place a 15% continuous heal, even more, for 1 turn on all allies with less than 100 HP. So trying to get to that 100% threshold so you can try to get Perfect Veil on the next go around here. And then attacks 1 enemy on the basic, has a 35% chance of placing a decreased attack. So again, trying to reduce the damage of the opposing team. And then when you finally upgrade this here, the Masters of Ghost, whenever an ally under a Veil and Perfect Veil buff gets a turn, you're going to get even more heals, 10% of their max health. And then this is also great, increasing the resistance of all allies under the Veil or Perfect Veil buffs by 50. So basically making it so much harder for the opposing team to apply debuffs. So you have damage reduction, debuff reduction chances, and a lot of heals, and you've got a revive. Let me show you the artifacts I have on her. So again, more recently, I'm kind of moving towards the Immortal set, but when I first got her, I was using a lot of the health sets that we have, or the life sets, I should say, because again, you're going to be bolstering her max HP. And as you can see, just with my sets alone, I got another 14,000 HP on her. There were some other artifacts like my ring, which gives a little bit more defense. This amulet has another 1,000 health or so. And then, so basically we're using Immortal. And then what's this other set here? I always forget. Hold on. What's this other set that we have right here? That one is, yeah, Relentless is what we have here. Let's see. Oh, no. I just want to see Relentless. No, close it up. Close it up. Close it up. Relentless. I just lost you now. Relentless. But again, this is when you start getting access to more stuff. When you're first starting, if you might not get these right away. There we go. This is why I like this. You have an 18% chance of getting an extra turn, and then consecutive chance to reduce by 45%. So trying to get more turns, which is in a way reducing cooldowns a little bit faster, or getting even more heals, revives out there. And then Immortal is kind of like a better version of just life. You get 15% HP, then you get 3% health recovery every single turn. A lot of ways to get that up and running. And then if you want to see my masteries, this is another one of those things. When you're starting off, I do think your crystals, gems, we might do a gem guide here in a bit, but getting you the gem mastery on Kale so you can just max out his masteries is the way to go. Here's basically what I ran here. You know, you can just kind of mimic what I had. This is, again, just based off other experienced players, what I ended up doing here. Again, just really leaning into the defense and support mechanisms that she has. And I completely forgot, we should probably show Kale's as well before we get too far ahead of ourselves here. Then, yeah, here are the masteries that I have locked in for Kale. Again, your resources really need to go into maxing out Kale, which you're going to get right when you're starting. And then if you use my code to get Rector Drath, kind of the same thing. You want to dump your resource into her because she's going to carry you in a variety of different game modes here. I'll say this, the only time I had any difficulties with Rector Drath and Kale was when I was on Brutal, and the final boss here would be a little tricky because the guy's he's kind of tough. But he's got the Spirit Affinity, which counters the affinity that the Rector Drath is at. So he was able to kill her off a little bit quickly. But besides that one battle, Rector Drath Kale carried me hard. So again, one of the biggest things is trying to knock out those campaigns ASAP and also investing in the characters with your limited resource and the best ones possible. And I don't think you're going to find people say, especially as a beginner player, don't invest in Kale. You should be investing your resources in the Kale. And if you happen to get Rector Drath by chance, or you use my link or QR code to get her when you finally reach level 20, she is one of the best healers in the game, especially with what I have right now. She's a solid, epic healer. And I'm excited to maybe finally get around to finishing up the rest of my artifacts. It's always one of those things. I feel like I always pick up artifacts here and there, but I would love to get the rest of these maxed up. But nonetheless, people, hopefully that helps you out. Again, if there's anything to take, even if you don't have Rector Drath, you need to max out Kale ASAP. All your resources should pretty much be going to this guy. It's really easy. They get caught spreading thin among all these champions because they're so cool. They do so many things. But focus your resources in the great champions and then move on once you complete one. This is one of the best tips I can give you guys. Nonetheless, thank you guys so much for stopping by. And again, big thanks to Rachel Owens for sponsoring this new account series. Again, I've been having a ton of fun, and hopefully you guys have been too. And if you haven't been playing yet, it's time to get into fun. You guys know the drill. There's the link. There's the QR code. Let's get involved. And also, actually, one more thing before I get going. Usually I have a full house in my clan. Our clan has actually been really killer, man. It's been a lot of fun. We have a lot of great people. But once in a while, I'll catch, there's been someone inactive for a couple days. But right now, it looks like everyone's been pretty active. So feel free to check up. If we have an opening, it's open to anyone. If first come, first serve, it's how we do it. But anyways, people, that's going to wrap it up for today. Can't wait to talk to you again. And more importantly, until we meet again, always remember how it's great to be in the Empire today.
Oh, it's great to be